Ifeanyi, thanks for joining us on the news.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now, Mali's leaders are yet to commit to holding elections in February next year. But then looking at the situation, do you think this meeting that would come up would yield any positive results for the elections if it would eventually come next year?
Considering the election next year and the ordinary summit happening tomorrow, I think that's the right direction. Africa as a nation has been known for years of turmoil as regards military dracona and dictatorship. We're looking at the present scenario playing out in Mali and Guinea. In present-day reality, no nation should be governed by the barrel of a gun. I think democracy has to be accepted by all, irrespective of what you feel, because the ballot still remains the choice of the people, where the voice of the people speaks louder than the barrel of the gun. And if the leaders in Mali feel they could go ahead with their plans sabotaging the system and remain adamant, because if you remember previously, as at October, if I'm not wrong, there was a meeting held in Ghana where some of the African leaders came on to pressure Mali and Guinea to do away with the military and return back to democratic government. But it has not yield any result. It's a gradual process. And with the sanctions placed on them from different quarters, like the AU, the UN, and even to their families and members of the government, I think that's a right step in the right direction. And also denying them of financial rights. Because leaders, Africa does not have what we call grooming the next generation of leaders. Rather, every leader is thinking of the next election. So how do we groom leaders? And Africa is well blessed, but we have a problem of leaders not willing to listen to the people, the yearning and aspiration of the people. So I believe the ordinary section that will be held tomorrow is still part of a way to find lasting solution among the crises in Mali and Guinea. And let's be positive. Because most of the leaders, especially some of these countries that never believe in democracy, that want to have their way, and their economy is dying. There is nothing to show for it. They are ravaged by inflation, poor healthcare system, no, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of human capacity building, there is nothing to write home about. And the military is coming. Rather, I will want the AU and the development partners like the EU and United Nations to put serious sanctions on them. So we'll be able to achieve at least the goal before the February election, because it's sudden.
All right. Well, Ifeanyi, you've talked about the AU. Let's also look at ECOWAS and what their response has been. Now, how would you say the West African sub-region body, that's ECOWAS, how do you think it has fared in 2021 in terms of implementing the action plan against terrorism and, of course, their support and what they've been doing whatsoever to national efforts for these African countries, despite all the challenges, political crisis and terrorism that these African countries are facing?
Well, it's very sad, and it's something that we should not joke about, knowing fully well that what terrorism have done in some of these African countries like Niger, Chad, talk about Burkina Faso and Mali. It has ravaged them. A good working population of the young people who are supposed to be gainfully employed has been displaced. Some have become IDPs. It has created more poverty, and more money has gone into security. That at the end of the day, especially manpower, and the people, the so-called government are not accountable to the people. I think it's high time at least they sit down as we approach 2022 and review their system and tactics. Because bringing the case back to my country, which is Nigeria, as we stand today, we have spent so much money in terms of fighting terrorism under the guise of security.
Okay.
Like there was a report that from 2015 to present day, we've spent over 10 trillion naira trying to achieve peace in some of the troubled insurgent regions. But at the end of the day, you find out that most of those money are being diverted. If such 10 trillion are put on human capital development, on young people, on the economy, on infrastructure, what we will achieve so much.
All right.
At least maximize potentials.
Okay, thank you so much, Ifeanyi.